Welcome back, America. I'm Hugh out in Studio West, the Relief Factor studio out on the West Coast. And I'll be here until middle of April. And I'm in the middle of disasters all around me. I'm untouched by them. We have people staying with us who had to flee their homes, and it's really hard. It is devastating. My wife's a Californian. I lived there from 1989 to 2015. Love the state. Raised my children here. Love the state. It's a beautiful state. When Pete Wilson was the governor, if you're watching on the Salem News Channel, I've got the my Governor California's Wilson Country mug back here, a celebration of Governor Pete Wilson in the golden age of California. And it's true, it was. So when Dwayne gave me a cut sheet today, I just couldn't believe it. I said, did they really say that? I said to him, did they really say that? And he said, yes. I said, what, was this today? And he, yes, because I missed it. Here's the president in the Oval Office, cut number 2.
And I want to be clear, we're not waiting until those fires are over to start helping the victims. We're getting them help right now, as you all know. People impacted by these fires are going to receive one-time payment of $770, one-time payment, so they can quickly purchase things like water, baby formula, and prescriptions. So far, nearly 6,000 survivors have registered to do just that, and $5.1 million has gone out.
Anyone ask where the 770 comes from? What, they throw a dart? Look at this pen. If you're watching, throw at the dartboard. It's 870 today. It's not 7. It's like Wheel of Fortune with Joe Biden. And then it gets worse. It gets worse. Kamala Harris is in the meeting, and she says cut number 3.
And so it's critically important that to the extent you can find anything that gives you an ability to be patient in this extremely dangerous and unprecedented crisis that you do.
Do you think anyone could say, I'm sorry we failed you? Do you think anyone could resign? Do you think anyone could say, oh, I'm beginning to think maybe we ought to have removed the coastal sage scrub and not abused the Endangered Species Act and not established the Coastal Commission? Will anyone say, I failed and I'm leaving? Does it ever happen? Newt Gingrich was on with Sean last night, Sean Hannity, and said this, cut number 1.
Well, look, I hold my breath to get through 7 more days of Joe Biden. I mean, every day he seems to find a new way to weaken America, to make Trump's job harder, to assert things that are patently false. And I think for the country's sake, the sooner we can get to that inauguration, the sooner we could wave goodbye as he goes back to Delaware, the safer the country will be. And until that happens, I frankly remain worried about what he may do in the next few days that will be truly destructive.
I agree. I've never had a transition like this, but then again, we've never had a president who was impaired like this other than Woodrow Wilson. The toner of the LA Times is Patrick Soon-Shiong. He's a lefty. His daughter's a crazy lefty. Cut number 5, talking on the morning meeting with Mark Halperin today. Cut number 5.
First of all, we'll accept some blame, right? So at the LA Times, we endorse Karen Bass. I think right now in front, that's a mistake, and we admit that. So I thought it was very important early on for me to come out. And I think we were one of the few to say competence matters. We got like maybe 20, 23 million views to show how that was really dear to the heart of most people, whether you're right or left. And it's an interesting thing is that maybe we should think about how we elect people.
Stop.
On the basis.
Maybe, Mr. Publisher, you should think about your environmental writers who are nuts. All right, I've been dealing with them for 30 years. They're nuts. I got friends at the paper. Pat Morrison's a friend of mine. She's a fine writer. Don't let her write about environmental stuff. She doesn't know stuff. Do not let people write about endangered species who think that they're on top of the issue and they have no idea. Don't let your water reporter, who's a crazy water reporter, just dump them. So don't apologize now and say, oh, we shouldn't endorse her. Fire people at your newspaper. Hire serious people. Serious, smart people. Don't hire dummies and ideologues, and sometimes they are hard to distinguish between the two. Get rid of them. Fire them. Your paper is in ruins. Your reputation is in ruin. I'm sorry we endorse Karen Bass and not Rick Caruso. Won't cut it for me. My anger is on the surface. My law students' anger is on the surface. The destruction is so immense. The catastrophe that is so across the entire county and will ripple out for years and decades to come did not have to happen. Easily prevented if they had started being serious 5 years ago, 3 years ago, maybe a week ago. It didn't have to happen. I'll be right back.